Today we're going to be covering Green Lanterns Lost in Space. Now, shockingly, they're not lost in space. They're actually going to training day with Guy Gardner and John Stewart, with a little bit of Kilowog and Kyle Rayner mixed in there for love and passion. That's right, I made it weird. Now enjoy the Green Lantern storyline, because Green Lanterns are like one of my favorite superheroes. In our last video, Jessica and Simon faced off against Dr. Polarity while Polarity attempted to save his dying brother. In the end, the two Lanterns managed to save Cyborg and the Watchtower from crashing into the Earth, but they also let Polarity escape. For those of you guys wondering, that's like DC's Magneto, basically. Now with the fight over, Corps leader John Stewart contacts Jessica and Simon and tells them to strap in. Their rings are going to be bringing them into Mogo for a little chat. In the deep reaches of space, there's a faint scream as Jessica Cruz is screaming at her ring to stop pulling her. She yells that this is an emergency, stop now! But before Simon can tell her not to do it, Jessica suddenly stops, alone. She looks around at the empty space, asking where is she? And the ring tells her Sector 0502, which is between sectors 0501 and 0503. Jessica asks, who taught you to be a smartass? And the ring responds that she did, actually. As Jessica screams that she wants to go home, a familiar voice asks, so soon? Kyle Rayner flies up stating, hey, I'm Kyle, and I just realized I used to have your job. Jessica shakes Kyle's hand, yelling, thank God, Kyle, whoever you are. I was so scared and I have no clue where. But Kyle tells her that it's no problem. His first time that he flew through space, he puked. And if that whole thing freaked her out, well, buckle up. As the two arrive in Mogo, Kyle calls out to Mogo, and the giant planet says, hello, Lantern Kyle. Welcome, Lantern Cruz. And Jessica begins to yell, no way! A talking planet? Kyle leads the way down to the surface and tells Jessica, welcome to the headquarters of the Green Lantern Corps. Jessica sees Simon already planicide having a drink with Kilowog, and she rushes over shouting, oh my God, did you see all of these Green Lanterns? You need to meet my new friend Kyle. But as Kyle touches down, Kilowog gets up looking down on Jessica asking, they use you as food down there on Earth, don't they? Simon tells Kilowog to stop playing with her, and then tells Jessica that of all the people you want watching your back, Kilowog's it. He even used to be the #1 drill instructor. Kilowog says, oh, that's right. Jessica hasn't been trained yet. Jessica's ring then responds with, proper uniform modification update. Jessica looks down and the Green Lantern symbol on her chest disappears. And Kilowog says, no training means no lantern. Them's the rules. Elsewhere, Volthoom, who's currently in possession of Raimi's body, slams down onto the Guardian's platform. Volthoom thinks that if he was brought to Mogo, this could be bad, and that he senses two beings behind him. Volthoom quickly spins back, blasting the two of them, and after deflecting the attack, Ganthet tells him to stay his hand. How long has it been? Volthoom stares for a moment, and then he says, not long enough. The two silently go back to staring, and Ganthet says, as emotional as ever. I should not have been surprised. Ganthet tells him that they are facing grave times. With them being the last remaining Guardians, they now face a malfunction. The Green Lantern rings cannot enlist new lanterns. They leave only to never return, and since he was the one who created the first ring, Volthoom says, oh, he gets it now. They need him to fix something. Well, if they kept all of his old files then, Ganthet tells him that they're sealed away upon his banishment, but they've survived intact. He will take them to them now. Back with Jessica, she looks out to the city and Simon flies down asking if everything's okay. She shouts, no, everything is not okay. No good job from anyone, just demote me like it's nothing. I dare anyone to say that I haven't earned the right to wear the lantern. John's voice tells her, I will. And if you want to wear the lantern, then you're going to need to undergo your training. He turns back to Simon, telling him, and you have to have some training too. It's time to take it to the next level. Simon asks, who's he going to be working with, Hal? And John says, no. Your trainers are right behind you. Jessica, you're with Guy Gardner. Simon, you're with Kyle. Guy shouts, all right, time to hold on to your butts. The two Lanterns get underway with their training, and Guy pushes Jessica to her limits real fast. Things like carrying a giant construct machine and then putting that machine together blindfolded, and even weapons combat over lava. Guy lunges forward, swinging his bat, shattering Jessica's bat, and just as she catches herself from falling, Guy tells her, pathetic! Guy then asks if she really wants to be a Green Lantern, and as much as Jessica wants to go home and cry, she forces herself to say, sir, yes, sir. Back with Volthoom, he pores over Raimi's old research materials. Keep in mind, he's in Raimi's body and no one is aware that it is the evil Volthoom, trying to figure out a way to go home once he sees the travel lantern. The lantern that was thought to be lost, but instead it was broken down into the first 7 Green Lantern rings. Volthoom stares at the picture of the lantern and he says that if he can get a hold of one of those rings, all hope will not be lost. Back with Jessica, Kilowog stops by to check on the training when Jessica tells him, "Sup?" Kilowog then asks how's the training going, and Jessica tells him, "Kill me now." And Kilowog says, "That's promising!" So what's wrong? Jessica picks herself up, stating that she thought she was getting the hang of the ring back home, but here it's like her willpower is just gone. Kilowog tells her, "Nah, you're just going about it all wrong. You can't find willpower, it's always been there." Kilowog then holds out his ring, creating a small star, and he asks if she's ever heard of the Emerald Sun. It's an old core legend some old poozer used to tell, that green star is strong, bright, and clear. Sometimes in the heat of battle, or if you're in the same room with a guy, fear clouds your vision, and you always have to remember, no matter what, the Emerald Sun is always looking up in the sky. So no, willpower can never be lost. You just have to remember that it's always there, so close your eyes and look. As Jessica does, a green light begins to shine, and then she sees it, the Emerald Sun. She shouts that it's so beautiful. Is that her willpower? And Kilowog says, "So they say. Anyway, I'm out. Don't take any guff from Guy." Over with Simon, he begins to try to work his way out of Kyle's giant construct pinball machine, and Kyle tells him that he's got a magic wishing ring, and all he does is make mechanical constructs. They're boring, tired, and lackluster. As Simon bounces around, he puts the rocket boosters onto the ball, and he slides off of it to punch out a giant Kyle. Simon shouts, "There! I finally got you! Now enough of the cartoons!" But before he can finish, Kyle hits him with a pie in the face. Simon asks him, "Really? Do you?" And as he wipes the pie away, he sees Kyle and 50 other construct Kyles. And Kyle asks, "All right, who are you gonna punch now?" Over in the woods, Jessica fires her gun, bouncing her bullet off of the trees, and it falls short of the target. And Guy shouts, "Unbelievable! After 160-something tries, there's hardly any improvement. You're just like my athlete's foot. Slow, sure, but completely unwanted. You aren't lantern material, you're just useless." But the more that Jessica listens, the more she gets angry. And then she creates a giant fist and punches Guy. It was at that moment that Jessica realized things were wonderful, but she did just assault her superior officer. As Guy gets back up, he rubs his chin, stating that most anyone in the galaxy would have run off by now. But it takes more than one swing to take down old Guy. Jessica then says, "That's not what Batman told her." Guy creates a giant chainsaw and he swings, stating that he should send her back to Earth with no ring for assaulting a superior officer. But he wants to see if she wants this real bad. So it's time for her to fight, but this time, he's ready for that hit. Over in Raimi's lab, Volthoom goes through the records searching for the 7 rings, but each of them was either lost or destroyed. Except for ring number 7. Volthoom asks who's in possession of that ring, and the image of Jessica Cruz appears. Back outside with Simon, Kyle is forcing Simon to think outside of the box when making his constructs, like throwing rabbits at him, or a giant squid, or even a guitar. Simon manages to catch Kyle in a scarf, and he pulls his arm back, telling him, "All right, for this punch, I'm gonna enjoy it." Kyle shouts for him to have mercy, and Simon slams a pie into Kyle's face. Simon gets ready for another and says that he was told that all he had to do was punch him. Punching is boring, tired, and lackluster. So this pie is the same as his punch. Kyle wipes the pie off his face, telling him that it seems that the student has become the master. And Simon tells him, "You're really just a big dork." Over at the bamboo woods, Guy continues beating down on Jessica as the two battle with their bats. And Guy tells her, "Come on!" Jessica thinks back to what Kilowog said about finding her Emerald Sun. And Guy says that once he used to get in his own way trying to prove himself. But when he stopped trying to prove himself, he became the legend that she sees before her now. Guy slams the bat once more, shouting, "Come on, cut it out! Get out of your own way and fight me!" Jessica's ring announces that her willpower is spiking, and Jessica shouts, "Fight!" And she turns her bat into a giant battle axe, crushing Guy's bat. The force throws Guy to the ground, and Jessica charges in, and Guy tells her, "Whoa, stop, you graduated." With the training finally complete for the two of them, John calls in Hal to help them with their official graduation ceremony. Hal tells Jessica and Simon that they now patrol his old sector and home planet. He remembers when they received their rings, and he is happy to say that he couldn't be more proud of them. So it is time for them to light up their rings. All of the lanterns hold their rings to the sky, and they recite the Corps' mantra. "In the brightest day, in the blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light!" Later, that night, as everyone gathers for drinks to celebrate, John tells everyone that he's sorry he has to cut this short, but the New Earth Lanterns have their next mission. Volthoom then says per his request, he needs a security detail. The tools that he needs to restore the rings are far away from here. To save the Corps, they must go to the Vault of Shadows. Little does everyone know, Raimi, who's asking for this, is not a good guy. And there you have it. This is how you train with the Green Lanterns. You punch out your superior officer. If you want to punch me out, then give me a subscription, because that's how you knock me out. Every time one of you guys subscribes, I get knocked out. I fall to the ground and I cry. So I'm going to cry for this entire week. It's going to be great. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Comicstorian. Right here, you're going to find the entire Green Lanterns playlist. Right over here, you're going to find all of the YouTube recommended stuff. Right around here, you're going to find my cartoon face. On that note, I'm going to try to fade out with the eyebrow. I'll see you later.